Is my screen visible?
Yes, your screen is visible. You can go ahead.
Yeah, it is visible.
All right.
तारों भरी एक रात में तेरे खत पढ़ेंगे साथ में कोरा जो पन्ना रह गया एक कांपते से हाथ में थोड़ी शिकायत करना तू थोड़ी शिकायत मैं करूं नाराज बस ना
Shorty wildin' and shorty open, she beastin' it out. For the record, just a second, I'm freaking it out. Cause I wasn't trying to touch it, I was peeping it out. She turned around and was trying to put my dick in the mouth.
So, good evening and Jai Hind everyone, and a very happy Independence Day to all of you. What a fitting day it is to have with us a true gentleman and guardian of our nation. It is a profound honor and privilege to welcome our esteemed guest, Major Anuj Kumar Prajapati. Major, on behalf of everyone here, thank you so much for the taking time to be with us, especially on this special day. We are deeply grateful for your service and sharing your insights with us. For those who may not know, Major Anuj Kumar Prajapati is a proud alumnus of National Defence Academy, Katakwasla, Pune, and Indian Military Academy, Dehradun. He was commissioned into the Regiment of Artillery on June 10, 2017. He has served in high altitude areas along the line of control and is presently an instructor at the prestigious School of Artillery located in Deolali, Maharashtra. He hails from Saharanpur, Uttar Pradesh, and is a keen reader. Today, on India's 79th Independence Day, we would love to hear from someone who lives and breathes the freedom of spirit every single day. Sir, to aware you, we have structured our discussion around five key themes, and we had love for this to be an open conversation. So, sir, let's start with our discussion. We would first love to know about your incredible journey to choose joining National Defense Academy as a dream military college from your childhood till the time you donned your stars and carried on the responsibility to serve the nation, sir.
Thank you, Sulas, for this wonderful introduction and wishing everyone a very happy Independence Day. Firstly, I would like to quote something which everyone should listen with attention. When you go home, tell them of us and say, for your tomorrow, we gave our today. With this as a brief, I come to the my part one proper. Myself, I am Major Anuj Prajapati, a proud Indian and a feel privileged to adore this uniform to defend our motherland. Before I begin, I would like to request all of you to remember our fallen comrades who laid down their lives to defend our motherland. It is because of them we breathe in free air, live a free life. Therefore, I would like to highlight freedom is not free. There are people who have paid the cost with their lives. Those people, we might not know them all, but we owe them all. Coming to the part one, where I would discuss my journey. Firstly, my affiliation with the IITs. Let us go back to year 2013. I passed class 12 from St. Mary's Academy. That was the year where JEE Main and Advanced, it was introduced for the first time. And I was lucky to clear both the exams. Got an All India rank of 2700 and was selected to be computer science in BTech in IIT Roorkee. At the same time, I cleared the National Defense Academy exam. And I would like to thank one of my classmates who motivated me to join the National Defense Academy. Therefore, here you see me wearing this uniform and serving the motherland. Coming on to the part two, where I'll be telling my journey as a commissioned officer. In 2013, just after my class 12th, I joined National Defense Academy. And just before this, I discussed with Sulaks. I also appeared for this TS entry exam, but during that time, our class 12th result was not declared. And I am very happy to announce I got 95% in class 12th and also got selected in IIT. Therefore, from 2013 till 2016, I trained in National Defense Academy 130th course. I belong to Alpha Squadron. And from 2016 to 17, I was part of Kohima company in Indian Military Academy, Dehradun. And let the year 2017 come, I directly landed in the high hills of Kargil, where the altitude was from 16,000 to 21,000 feet. This was the time when India had just seen the Uri attack. From 2017 till 2019, for 2.5 years, I was deployed in Jammu and Kashmir. There are few incidences which I would like to highlight from my journey from these operational areas. I stayed in the heights of Siachen, Batalik sector, Kargil, and Dras. Saw the enemy eye into eye in front of me and dared them to gaze at our motherland. Reminded them every day, every hour, every minute, and every second. Our forefathers defended our motherland, and we will continue to do so till our last breath. Here, I want to tell you some of the moments which I have seen where you switch between life and death. But as you all know, death has a special favor for those who see it closely, and gods protect them who protect the temples of their forefathers. Some of the incidences which I would recall, first one is patrolling the border along the line of actual control with Pakistan in the snow, which is 15 feet in height till our waist level, and the temperatures which could go even in minus 40s. Guarding the border by every inch of it, and where everything freezes except two things. First is your willpower, and second one is old monk.
This is nice.
Threat to our motherland, as you all know, although there is threat from two sides, both are neighbors, but it's not only the threat. Once you go in detail, there is an internal threat also, where you have to find out the terrorist, you have to find out the anti-national elements who are within our population, neutralize them, and protect our population. Now, one more thing, there are terrorists, as you all know, in Jammu and Kashmir. It's up to the God whether he will forgive them or not. But to send them there, I think the onus is on to us. Now, some of
That
the
was
timelines,
yes.
some of the timelines which the audience would relate to my service as, first in 2016, when India was going through this turbulence of Uri attack, Doklam, it was the time when I landed up in my unit. Second was year 2019, Feb, everyone knows, where this Pulwama attack happened. I was deployed there. Actions happened. We were part of them. Suffice for all you to know, but could not be. I cannot disclose them right now. And when the history was being rewritten in Kashmir in August 2019, Article 370 was abrogated. I was part of it and was deployed eyeball to eyeball contact with the enemy. So these are the highlights from my service life. There are few incidences which I would like to bring out during our discussion.
So it's a very nice and a very interesting thing to know about you, sir. You had included all the major things, which is full of thrill, and it included some bit of humor, which where you mentioned the old monk and the we serving as a messengers to the god. So, sir, as you had mentioned that you had started your training in the year 2013, National Defense Academy. Many of us here, sir, they are aspirants, keen aspirants. They are still preparing for the NDA exams, and they are keen for clearing the SSB and being a part of that prestigious institution. Just if, like both of us, we have been a part of academy, so if you could please share your some memorable experiences. I know it won't be that memorable because it's full of ragda, but it would be a bit very humorous and a very open discussion for the audiences to hear. They would love to hear it, sir.
Okay. So as far as SSB is concerned, you and me both are at the same platform. You are even better qualified than me
No, sir.
since I appeared only once.
So,
Coming on to the academy experiences,
so
so you can take XNDA and XNDA out of NDA, but you can never take NDA out of an XNDA.
yes,
So
sir.
it remains within us. So all those 3 years, I remember them minute by minute, second by second.
Yes, sir.
But
Yes,
some
sir.
of the experiences which I would like to share with the audiences are,
Yes, sir.
although they are training your body, everyone is training their body. Even the people who are outside in the gyms, in the physical activities, athletes, all are training their bodies. But most importantly, they are training your mind.
So,
You won't come to know when you finish 2 kilometer. You won't come to know when you finish 10 kilometer. You won't come to know when you finish 30 kilometer. You won't come to know when you finish 60 kilometer because your body has already given up. It's your willpower which is taking you ahead. And second most thing you might be aware, the second best thing in the world after parents is your course mates.
so that is
They push
absolutely
you ahead.
rightly said, sir. It's absolutely rightly said, sir. To the audiences, the thing which you heard now, that once you start with the 2 kilometers, you increase it gradually with three, then you go to eight, then you go to 10. Then the camp instructors, they will take you a 25-kilometer run backs too. So, sir, like most of us, not most of us, some of us know India is quite popular for this cross country events, sir. Even rest of the academy, sir. If you would please like to share your experience of cross country training, sir, across these exterms of your training.
Now you just asked the perfect guy regarding cross country because I belong to the Alpha Squadron and
So,
our squadron has the tradition of cross
tradition
country.
of winning, yes, sir.
Now
Yes,
there are total 19 competitions and we don't care about balance 18. It's we are senti only about cross country. Regarding the training of cross country for our squadron, from first to sixth term, cross country happens for each term. However, for first termers, it is only for 7 kilometers. From second to sixth termers, it is complete 13.5 kilometers, which includes some uphills and the downhill routes also. So as far as I can recall in my first term when we ran this 7.5 kilometers with our course mates, I came in first enclosure and I could do it because of my course mates who were running with me. Coming to second to sixth termers, other squadrons they train for 2 months or 2.5 months, but our squadron we train all 6 months, all 5 months of the term for cross country because it is the only competitions which we are doing. If had there been an odometer which is fixed into our legs, it could
so
easily complete 2-3 thousand kilometers within these 5 months.
Aris, that's a very thrilling things to hear, and very I won't say painful, but it's it sometimes too much of running also injures your leg. You the discussion with the coach mate, it eases out all the pain, sir. That's
Now
what
you
I.
cannot say it to be painful because the people who will be joining they will feel themselves. We can't be described.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We cannot do that. So moreover, sir, if like I've been in OTS, sir, and you have been in India, sir. Like if you could share us the daily routine a cadet goes through, sir, from
Okay.
Monday till the Saturday, sir, and Sunday we of course know, sir. It's a holiday for us. One of the
Okay.
best days in a week.
Now coming to the daily routine, there are two things. First is official, second one is unofficial.
So,
Unofficial, I won't tell it here, and you know it better.
yes, sir.
In the official
Absolutely.
routine, we get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. From 5 to 6, we daily routine prepare our uniform for the day and get it checked from our seniors. We call it pre-muster. You must be knowing.
Yes, sir.
From 6 o'clock, we go to our first period of training, which might be PT, it might be drill, it might be firing, it might be weapon training, it might be academics, it might be anything. Since I was part of the BSc Computer Science, so first 2 periods are dedicated. We call it ODT, outdoor training. Then we
Yes.
come for breakfast, which we hardly have, or people let
Yes.
us have.
The pause could
Then,
say also. Yes, sir.
then from 8 o'clock till 13:30 or
Yes, sir.
1:30 p.m. is our academic schedule. There are three kinds of courses which are there in India. First one is BSc Computer Science, in which they teach you about computer sciences. Second one is BSc Chemistry, and third one is BA, Bachelor of Arts. So I was part of the BSc, so I learned few of the languages there. And from 800 hours to 1300 hours, 1:30 p.m. out of the five hours and 5.5 hours, It is up to you how much you want to study.
Yes, sir.
Rest things cannot be disclosed. Coming on to after lunch, lunch we all have. Then from 1400 hours, that is 2 p.m. till 6 p.m. in evening, for 4 hours, we will have continuous physical training under the supervision of our seniors. From 6 till 6:30, we'll be getting ready for our study period. From 6:30 till 7:30, we'll have our study period. We have to observe it. Whether you want to study, you don't want to study, it's up to you. But you have to keep the door of your cabin open and then you study. Then you go for dinner after the study period. Then again you come back from 9 p.m. till 11 p.m. Again, you have this physical PT. It might be your volleyball training, basketball training, or cross country training. In case of our squadron, we
Yes,
run
sir.
24 hours.
Sure, sir.
At 11 p.m., officially it is lights out. Unofficially, you are aware.
That's absolutely rightly said. And we both here cannot disclose what happens. And officially, it's up to you to go and experience those in the academies, right? So, sir, NDA is very fond of the camps, sir. It has major camps. Even there are many course of mine who's one is still there in the who just passed out recently from India 147th. He mentioned there are a lot of camps. It is get like the one of the camp he mentioned was Camp Rovers. Then like I don't know in detail. If you could please enlighten us with the experiences and the memorable things which you had with your postmates within the camp training.
Now, firstly, out of the 6 terms in NDA, there are 3 camps. One camp is in second term, we call it green on. One camp is in fourth term, we call it rovers. And this particular camp has the privilege to be called as the toughest camp throughout all the militaries of the world. And the third camp is Camp Torna, which is in the sixth term just before passing out. So, firstly, apart from the training which we are getting in the this camp map reading and all, one thing I want to bring out is these camps are making your this camaraderie, training people together. You are running together, you are sleeping together. Of course, you are not sleeping, you are digging together, you are firing together, you are running together, you are getting roser together. So that's how you build this bond homie. So the total schedule of these camps, it varies from 4 days to 7 days, which includes your small arms firing, your map reading, your tactical training, and endurance run, which is 20 kilometers in Greenhorn, 50 kilometers in Rovers, and again 55 kilometers in Torna, which includes your full battle load scale A along with weapon, which could be for the audiences, it could be around 25 kgs. So basically, this is the battle load which we are carrying. And once these camps get over, there is a competition within the squadrons, and then you come to know about the position, whatever you have done. If you have done good, it is good. If you have not done, because it is all relative, then
So
further actions, you know how it happens at the company level.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, as you mentioned that the camp rovers had the 50-kilometer run, so the run back from the camp to back to the academy. Could you please share the experience of the entire long run which you had, along with carrying the battle load and the rifle with you, sir?
Okay, now this was the month of Feb 2015 when I was in fourth term, and we were carrying out this run, or you call it run back. So it started around 1930 hours. There is a sequence in which the squadrons are left, and then there are checkpoints. For our camp, there were 8 checkpoints, which were around 5 kilometers, 7 kilometers. It is a kind of map reading. You need to find it out. You might be
Yes.
lost also. So from 1900 hours or 7 p.m. in the evening, we ran for 2 hours. We could not find the first checkpoint or CP. Then we find it out somewhere in the dead ground or somewhere near a well. One officer is sitting there. We just find it out. Again, just after this first checkpoint, when we saw another squadrons are also running us, because it is a competition, everyone wants to come first. Then again we ran for 3 hours. In the night, around 12 a.m., we could find the second checkpoint. And around 4 a.m. in the morning, we could find out the third checkpoint. So these first 3 checkpoints, they were, knowingly being, cited like 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers, so that in the first 3 checkpoints, people are demoralized and they give up. So till 4 a.m. in the morning, you are continuously running. Then you come to know all, balance of the checkpoints. They are at 5 kilometers, 6 kilometers. So from night 7 p.m. next day afternoon 12 p.m. we were continuously running. We did not stop at a single point. It was only where we were giving the report, okay, sir, checked and intact, everyone is okay, control store, rifle is okay, everything is okay. Okay. That was the time when we were halting, we were having water. Otherwise, we were continuously running. Now, from this 12 p.m. in afternoon till 2 p.m., we had the obstacle course, which it is part of in NDA and OT also, everywhere it is there. Then from 2 p.m. till 3 p.m., we had the small arms firing, which was again a competition. So from 7 p.m. till next day 3 p.m., you can calculate it is around 20 hours. So that
Yes, sir.
was the longest 20 hours of my life till date.
If you would like to hear some of my experience also,
Yeah, yes, yes.
uh, it like you mentioned, sir, it is our last camp of our second term, sir. It is called Camp Chindit,
Okay,
and
changes.
yes, since we are having our BMT in the initial first years, so we were taught about the CI/CD operations within the camp, and the ending of the camp was with the 50-kilometer run back to the academy. So it was again the four companies we were competing against each other, and as you rightly mentioned, sir, finding the CP, like this is the most common word to the audiences also here. I would say if you ever be a part of National Defense Academy and you undergo training, even not National Defense Academy, even after your graduation, if you join your academy, the one thing when you go through the runbacks is the CP. You will heard the word CP so many times, and you'll be just totally drained with the energy. You would have the battle loads with you. You would have the rifles with you. You would have everything. And to let sir know, sir, I started my run at around 8 o'clock in the night, and we finished at around 4:30 in the morning. We had successfully found all the checkpoints. Uh, I think it was due to the digital GPSs which were provided to the training cadets right now.
Lucky
During
guys.
these yes sir, yes sir. During these times the digital things have come up, sir. But I don't think so. During your time you would have that privilege. That's why it was a bit tricky and a very challenging thing for
Compass map.
yes, a compass and maps. I remember we used to like point the compass, and it was like from map to ground and from ground to map. These were both the things taught to us. So one more thing, sir. Like you mentioned, you started from 7:30, 8 o'clock in the evening, and you finished at 12 o'clock the next day, sir. So which are the things like between you and the coach, like the motivation factor, the things which like motivated you to go on further and don't stop in between, to not give up in between, because finding three checkpoints in the verge of the 8 hours and still completing it and seeing other squadrons also competing, it's a very challenging thing, but I think it's a very good thing to motivate you as a squadron to win the championships.
Now, your physical endurance, it ends within first 1 hour.
Yes, sir.
Now, there were 19 cadets which were part of our squadron, including two foreign cadets. These two foreign cadets, one was from Australia and one was from Tanzania.
So
They were the excellent runners. So they were leading, and I was at the last
so
with, some 4 5 feet stick in my hand. Now you
yes, sir.
knew the motivation came from where.
Yes, sir.
And the
Yes, sir.
balance of
Yes,
the people were just,
yes,
they
sir.
they
Yes, sir.
they can't come behind me because the
Yes, sir.
motivation is
Yes,
there
sir.
in my hand.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Because
Sorry to interrupt you in between, sir. To the audiences, it's not just the battle load and rifle we carry. We also carry stretcher with us. Uh, we also carry stretcher because it is very highly possible that cadets they get in between, they get conked off in between. So we carry the stretcher with us. We carry the medical items with us. Okay, so it's just not the battle loads; it's all of the things with us we carry out. Please continue, sir.
now, Sulex, I think there is a question which is, as as data scientists, how the students can help us. Now, I would like to take
Sure,
2 minutes here and would like to highlight
sure, sir,
something.
sir.
Now, first
Please,
thing
sir,
is
please.
World War One, World War Two, Cold War. All these battles were fought between humans, like machines,
Yes,
tanks, missiles. Now,
yes, sir.
if you see, we are already surrounded by two nuclear powers. And the
Yes, sir.
recent, the contemporary battles you see between Israel, Hamas, Israel, Iran, Russia, Ukraine, all these battles, they are being fired. All these battles are non-contact kinetic. Missiles are being fired. And the
Yes,
future battles which will be there, they will be man versus man, machine versus machine, intelligent machine versus intelligent machine. So as part of the years of transformation of Indian Army, we are observing a year of technical absorption in which we are focusing on certain topics which I'll highlight here. First one is like a leap in the quantum computing, artificial intelligence, data analytics, and the third one is, and the last one is your this data computing. So basically, these are the things which we are looking at. You know, there are the drones which are flying, which find out target on their own. And the recent
Yes, sir.
operational Sindoor, the videos which you say they were, which you just saw, these were the videos of the artillery. Since I'm from artillery, there were the drones which we used, and actual videos were there. And you know how we succeeded there. We did excellent job. So in our future, you are the young minds, because after 5 years, 10 years, it will be all the intelligent war. Anyone who is excelling in the, suppose everyone like China is there, Pakistan is there, US is there, all these nations, they are collecting data. Today itself, our Prime Minister, he brought out as the plan of a Viksit Bharat 2047. We should have our indigenous fighter jet engines, our hypersonic missiles, our own drones, our own constellations, for our own GPS, because as we all know, during 1999, it was US who had denied us the GPS since we were engaged with Pakistan. So only two lines I would like to highlight. You are the brains of India, future of India. You are the one who will complete this dream of Atmanirbhar Bharat. If I speak with special reference to the armed forces, we are looking at the future technology. Like at present, we don't have any hypersonic weapon, although our adversaries, they do have. For all these fighter jet engines, we are depending on the foreign countries like US is there, Russia is there. Now is the time we become self-reliant, because in these turbulent times, you cannot depend on anyone. No one is your true enemy. You see our neighbors, you see Russia right now, although they are supporting us, you see US, anyone can turn hostile against anyone. There is no polarization. So it is better, now is the time to become self-reliant in terms of military technology, so that we need not to look at anyone in case anyone looks with a glaring eye at our motherland.
Yes, sir.
So this point,
Absolutely.
this particular point I wanted to highlight. In army also,
Yes, sir.
now is the need for these technical warriors. Army is recruiting these technical warriors who could be part of our future ready force.
Absolutely,
Now
sir.
there is one more question. What is your view on the narrative warfare? Now, like the recent conflict which we had, the conflict which is prolonged conflict between Russia and Ukraine. That
Yes, sir.
these present wars are the wars of narratives. Like just now you see Pakistan, they gave their chief of army staff. They told, okay, he is the field marshal, just to highlight to their population that they won the battle. So it is, they are fighting in the minds of their own population.
So, sir.
They believe if they win the battle in the minds of their population, they won't ask them questions. So this is their point of view. However, for us, we know the damage we had done. The kind of precision strikes which we had done, we know our
Yes, sir.
capability. But
Yes,
in
sir.
the mind of the
Absolutely.
common people, like audience are there, they might not be aware what is the actual military operation which has taken place. So it
So,
is
sir.
the narrative battle which is being fought in the minds of the people. For example, you see Russia Ukraine war, most of the news which we see is like Ukraine has done this much to Russia, Ukraine has done this much to Russia, Russia suffered these many losses, because most of the media channels which we follow, they are from the West. We don't follow much of the Russian channels. Once you see their side of the story, you will have the complete different perspective. So as important is it to win the physical battle, same or more importance should be given to the narrative battle.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely, sir. It is rightly said by you. It's the need of the hour to have the technical warriors also in place to set our own narratives, to not get bogged down by the pressures of the other countries, which is happening right now in much of the news. Continuing about what you were saying, sir, like everyone here wants to know, like, as you are part of the regiment of artillery, and you rightly know the amount of work our armed forces had done in the Operation Sindhu. What was the contribution of a regiment of artillery in protecting our nation during Operation Sindhu?
Okay. Specifics, I won't go in detail.
Sure,
However,
absolutely. Yes.
suffice to say right now, as we know, artillery is the god of war.
Yes, sir.
We have the guns which has the ranges up to 50 kilometers, and the damage which we have done to enemy, it will take 5 to 10 years for the enemy to recover. The
Certainly.
bunkers, the precision strike which we have carried out, although they started it, but it finished on our winning note. They
Yes,
were
sir.
the locations of enemy where they thought we wouldn't be reaching. They thought it cannot be strike down. You know, the first day where we strike the 9 targets, everyone
Yes,
is
sir. Yes,
aware about the
yes, sir.
DGMO.
Yes,
So
sir.
out of these 9 targets, more than 90% were taken down by artillery. Suffice to say.
Yes. Sir, as you mentioned that it's need of the hour to include the technical mindset into our armed forces, sir. Recently, I had heard in the news that we were uh, basically including the anti-drone warfare systems in the artillery guns, sir. If you could please enlighten with us about that, sir.
Now, first thing is like whenever we are developing any kind of weapon system, or the DRDO is developing, or the technical minds which are right now hearing us, they are developing, it is based on some kind of threat. Till now, we had not experienced such kind of drone threats, or these kind of threats were not there. Now we know this is the threat. We should be developing something to counter this. First thing is any country, any army, any unit, any platoon, they can win the war only if they survive.
Yes, sir.
And these kind of drone threats, they could be operated from the other side of the border. They could be operated from within. You know about this Operation Spiderweb of Ukraine. They
Yes,
strike
sir.
down the US in Russia. They strike down the targets which were 3,500 kilometers inside. The drones were being operated from within. And during this Operation Sindoor also, we had seen some of the drones were being operated from within our own borders. So till the
Yes, sir.
time we don't have anything which can counter all these kinds of threat, we can't say our borders are secure. So first thing, since artillery resources, they are the prime resources and they are the ones which are the winning factors over the enemy. So we are looking at the counter drone systems in the artillery, in infantry, armored, AD, of course, they are counter drones. We are planning to induce these directed energy weapons, man portable counter drone systems, integrated drone detection and interdiction systems, and there are some EW equipments are there which could
Yes, sir.
detect these drones as long as 10 kilometers, 15 kilometers, and could destroy them before they come into the effective range.
Yes, sir. It is absolutely rightly said by you, sir. But the next curious question which I want to ask is, sir, like many, I won't say much of the armed forces persons, but there's a lot of discussions going on in the country that drones would be soon replacing the armed forces persons in the future years, not right now, coming 20, 30 years, because of their capability of having the precision strikes. So, what is your idea and thought upon that, sir?
Now, any kind of technology, whether it is a tank, whether it is a gun, whether it is a drone, whether it is a fighter jet, whether it is an unarmed aerial system like UAV is there, they are the force multipliers. They are to boost the combat potential of a force, not to replace the human power. Final man is the one who is behind this machine, who is operating this drone. Right now, I would like to tell you, suppose we have drones, but these drones, they would be requiring some kind of power, some kind of communication, some kind of target identification. So basically you can say they can be used as the enablers, but not the replacement.
Yes, sir. So, sir, we have come to know about the early warning systems, the anti-drone warfare systems, which has been embedded in the artilleries. I just wanted to know your perspective, like why such kind of warfare happens. Like, what are aspects or opinions? What is your opinion basically towards our war and the conflict with Pakistan? How will it go in the further years? And apart from Pakistan, maintaining our strained relation with China too, sir.
Okay. Now let us take the example of Iran and Israel. Do they share any physical boundary? They don't. Let us take
Yes.
example of another nations who don't share physical boundary. Like right now, US had carried out strike on the this nuclear assets of Iran. So
Yes,
these
sir.
two countries, they don't share any physical boundaries. Still, they are fighting. So these kinds of warfare, we call them as non-contact and kinetic warfare. However,
Sure.
in case of India, like we had Operation Sindhu, although there were no troops who crossed this international border or occupied some kind of enemy territory, but there were drones, there were missiles, there were rocket launchers, there were other kinds of weapon system, artillery, which took place because it depends on the aim of our battle. Right now, we were fighting against the terrorists which had killed our innocent civilians. Our aim was to punish those civilians, those terrorists. So we
Yes,
precisely took down those targets which were training these terrorists. Again,
yes,
suppose after 2 months, 6 months, 1 year, if the enemy carries out same kind of action, or the situation comes in which we need to capture some kind of enemy territory, which
yes, sir.
all the audience must be aware,
Yes,
in
sir.
that case the operation will be different. It will be like missiles will be firing, fighter jets will be there, artillery will be there, infantry will be there, armored will be there. So it will be a kind of full time operation. Again, the aim will depend upon the orders which we get from our higher hierarchy.
So that is rightly said, sir. The
Now I
next,
think there was
yes,
one question, if you could see, it was regarding
yes,
like the discipline in army during these
yes,
situations. One
yes, sir,
question
yes,
I
yes,
could see.
yes, sir,
Okay.
yes, sir. It is in the chat box, sir. Yes,
Yes.
sir.
First thing is
Yes, sir.
like for during peace time, like right now I'm in the unit or during the battle. First and foremost thing or a challenge is to maintain the discipline in the unit. The kind of training which army people get, the jawans, the junior commissioned officers or the officers. This discipline, as you must be aware, it is being taught from day one in our academy. Like our, drill ustad is saying left, right. We just keep following the orders. So it is within our muscle memories. Out of
Yes,
100%, I would say it wouldn't be more than 0.5% which we could face such kind of issues because that kind of training, the kind of morale, the kind of motivation which our troops get, they generally are disciplined. However, in case there is some of the rare cases, they can be dealt as per the existing procedures which are there in the army.
that was beautifully said, sir. Sir, like as you mentioned about the discipline and the toughness, the tough situation the army people go through. So we would like to hear, sir, about your leadership experiences, sir. That would help the audiences to learn from your experiences, sir.
Okay. Regarding my leadership experience till now, since I'm at the major rank only, so I'm in junior leadership bracket. most of the my Most of my tenure till now I have been with my men, and believe you in me, the troops, the jawans of Indian army, not one of the finest in the world. You lead them, you stay with them, you treat them with respect, you train with them, they will die for you. And I'm fortunate to be part of one of the elite unit of regiment of artillery. So there was a time during this Balakot or during this article 370 where I was deployed, the snow was till my waist level, till my chest level, and we were given orders to deploy the guns. I just told them, okay, boys, time to move, and within next 30 minutes, the guns were ready. So this kind of leadership experience you won't get anywhere in any kind of force in India or abroad, because the troops, the training, because every troop in Indian army they are fighting for Naam, Namak, and Nishan.
And Nishan, sir, yes. So, sir, like hearing and the audiences are also hearing about the selfless work of the army on a on everyday matter. Like it makes our hearts swell with pride, sir. So, given your dedication and service, sir, what are your most heartfelt thoughts and emotions about our country, India? And what does this tricolor mean to you? What does this national flag mean to you? And that would be, I think, a very opt discussion on this auspicious day of independence.
Now, firstly, this is our 79th Independence Day. So when we
Yes,
say 79th Independence Day, we are not just defending a piece of land.
yes,
Bharat is not just a piece of land. It is the
yes.
combined 1.4 billion people who have the common identity, common thought process, and we think like we belong to one set of people which are separate from other kinds of the other nations in the world. So as far as an army officer is concerned, or any Jawan for that matter of Indian army is concerned, we live for it. I will live for it, I will kill for it, and I will die for it. So it could be said in the simpler lines like if I could use Hindi, तन समर्पित, मन समर्पित, धन समर्पित, चाहता हूं देश की धरती तुझे कुछ और भी दूं.
That's it. Absolutely, you are getting a lot of hearts from the audiences, sir, based on the very powerful and impactful sentence you just mentioned, sir. Sir, as you have mentioned, and we have heard about your experiences in the during the training and during the service as well, sir, and your very insightful knowledge towards the technical aspects of the Indian Army, sir. What do you think the citizens, the normal citizens of India who are civilians? I think if you would go through the chat boxes also, sir, they are asking on how can they develop the self-discipline? How can they do it without having a military training making them do it, sir? If you could please guide them with that.
Okay, now as far as this military training is concerned, there are two aspects to it. First is your physical training, second one is your mental training. Regarding the physical training, anyone can do it anywhere. In some kind of like athletic training is there, you know, stadiums are there, gyms are there. Both these mental and physical training, only thing which is there, it is the self discipline. Your motivation will be there. So right now I'm speaking to Sulaks, I'm motivated, he's a good guy, good officer, but your motivation will end at 4 a.m. in the morning when this alarm rings. Beyond that, it will be your discipline which will take you. So
Absolutely.
suppose today I'm part of this video conference, and at 7 p.m. today I'm supposed to play badminton, or I'm supposed to run 10 kilometer, or I'm supposed to do some kind of physical work. If I can't do it right now, because all of us, you can understand, we have some kind of, you know, some kind of schedule is there which you can't follow. It should be my endeavor to do it in the night, because only thing right now in this world which you can't purchase is your physical health. You can purchase a Ferrari, you can purchase a bike, you can purchase a car, you can purchase a mobile, you can purchase a laptop, you can purchase everything. Only thing you can't purchase is your physical health. So you should be behind the thing which cannot be purchased.
So that is absolutely rightly said, sir. These are the things which I used to also follow, sir. You rightly said it, sir. After 4 o'clock, it's not the motivation which takes you; it's the discipline. Because you will have a very motivated mind before sleeping, and the next day it might be possible that you're switching off the alarm and you are just sleeping. But the discipline is the thing which wakes you up and takes you through the day. Yes, sir.
Now
Please.
I would like to share one of the incidences. We were in second time in NDA, and this was the time when this movie Milkha Singh was released.
So,
This guy representing India, running against Pakistan, and we
so,
were, you know, just one evening before this cross country, final cross country, 13 kilometers, this movie was on to us, and we were like, make us run right now, I will just sprint like 100 meter. Okay, fine. Next day morning everyone was motivated, but this motivation was limited to first 2 kilometers. After these 2 kilometers was your mental strength, how much you can make your body suffer,
so.
because it is, you know, everywhere this one is universal quote, aram haram hai.
Yes,
This
sir.
will kill your
Aram
body.
Aram. Yes, sir. Aram Aram. Right? This is one of the most famous statements which every academy trained cadet will get to hear and they will share as an advice to others, sir. Uh, Sir, your words have been truly inspiring to us. And from your unique vantage point of the opinions which you had mentioned, what do you think the normal citizens, those who are not aspiring to be a defense aspirants or being a part of armed forces, how can they contribute towards the nation's growth and unity? How
Okay,
can they
now
sacrifice like we sacrifice?
it is not only the person who is holding a rifle in his hand who is defending the nation. As just
Yes,
now, you know, before 10 15 minutes prior, there was a question, this narrative warfare. And
yes,
our God rest his soul in peace, our first CDS, General Bipin Rawat, he
Babin Ram.
told we need to be ready to fight a 2.5 front war. Two fronts, everyone is aware. And this point 5 front is the enemy which is inside. You know,
Yes,
in the society we all are living, there are people around us who might have different kind of religious backing, who might have different kind of political backing, or any kind of different thought procedure. It doesn't matter you are Hindu, it doesn't matter you are Muslim, it doesn't matter you are Christian, it doesn't matter you are Sikh. As long as you are Indian, you should defend this motherland, because it belongs to everyone. Next thing, as civilians, although no, it is not a lie. It is not the law of our country like everyone can take the gun and we can fire, because these measures are required to control the population. However, having a positive thought procedure towards our country, having a sense of belongingness, because right now there are so many campaigns which are going, okay, go indigenous, go local, support your own business. Suppose today someone gives me some kind of car which is foreign made and a car which is Indian made. If Indian car made is 3 lakhs, costlier than the foreign made, I would happily go for it, because this money is going to my nation.
Nation, sir.
So this
Exactly
thing,
right,
as
sir.
far as my knowledge is concerned, I would like every Indian, every citizen, or every Bharatiya to have, be Indian, be a citizen who is worth fighting for.
That was truly inspiring and motivating for all of us, sir. Sir, as we have discussed a lot about your experiences and your insights which you have provided to us through your training and the other things which you have mentioned. So we will move on to the questions from the audiences. From the chat box, we have Dhananjay Gupta. He has asked the question that how can we make our mind strong enough to stick to our decisions which we make, sir?
Okay, nice question. Even we face this dilemma. You know, when enemy is there in front of you, you are not sure whether he is a civilian or he is a terrorist. This dilemma is there in your mind. So, like for me as a civilian, I don't know anything about the military training and I start running. For first 500s, I feel my back is paining, my legs are paining, my stomach is aching, all those things. So, to train your mind, first and foremost thing you should know is why you are doing this. Who told you to this? If I'm fighting for my country, no one told me this. I chose this way of life. I could have easily joined IIT Roorkee. So this is my motivation. Whenever I used to run, like in NDA, in IMA, like now when I'm running for my unit, I remember my son. I remember my Paltan, my unit. When I stand in front of my men, can I face them? If you have those guts, okay, while running, you have that thought process in your mind, will I be able to face them? Then your body will automatically keep running. Similar thing, people who, although who are not part of army, you are going for some kind of job, some kind of physical training, some kind of entrance exam, some kind of competitive exam, or regular academic exam. Just have a thought about your parents, how much sacrifice they are doing for you. The motivation, the dedication, and the discipline, which it will be embedded within you.
That was a sentence which was full of grit and the motivational words, sir. I would please request the audiences to put your questions in the chat boxes. We'll carry on with the questions for the next 5 minutes. Then we will move on to some of the most memorable photos with the which sir has shared with us, and we would like to show the audiences also.
Someone was asking regarding my company in NDA. First thing, in NDA, there is no company, there are
Yes.
squadrons. In NDA, I was part of Alpha Squadron.
So if you could please tell like how many total squadrons are there in the NDA, with how many
In
battalions are there?
in National Defense Academy, when
So
we completed our training, there were total 5 battalions were there, and there were total 18 squadrons. And
yes.
I was fortunate to be part of the Alpha Squadron, which is the oldest squadron of National Defense Academy from the days it was in Dehradun. So
Yes.
proudly we call ourselves to be Apaches.
Yes, sir. Apaches. They're actually, let me tell the audiences, apart from the squadron names, the squadron have their own nicknames and they are quite more popular. Like the India squadron, they have engines, and the Oscar squadron, they are called Olympians, like what my father shared with me when I was a kid. Uh, there's one more question, sir, from Atul Kumar Jena. Is asking about can you please share your experiences regarding self-discipline? That's the only place where most of them fail, sir.
Now suppose, let us take an example. In India, there is no traffic police for one day. How will people behave? Everyone will be running in and around because people are not self-disciplined. So this self-discipline, by the virtue of the definition, it comes from within, whether someone is watching you or they are not watching you. Now suppose I sit to study, I take my this notebook in my hand. So first thing which should come to my mind is, if I keep using mobile phones, if I keep using, if I keep watching these reels, how will I focus here? So
Absolutely.
you cannot turn yourself into a self-disciplined guy within minutes, within seconds, or one single day, but it can be done in steps. Suppose right now I want to run 2 kilometers, but I can't. Okay, I'll go for 500 meters. Next day I will go for 1 kilometer, so on and so forth. Similarly for your academic preparation, similarly for your competitive preparations, you make a schedule and you follow it. This self discipline will be engraved in your mind, in your muscle, and everywhere, every part of your body. That's how you follow it.
Thank you, sir. I think Atul has said thank you, sir, to your response.
Most
The next
welcome.
question is from Aditya Kumar. He's asking, in light of China's activities in Tibet and its position with RIC and the US involvement in Indo-Pakistan affairs, how should India's military trust China or Pakistan?
Okay, so I should say this is an actual good question, which
So,
should be asked to an army officer, and I should appreciate the person who is asking this question. So, like I brought out, I think 15 minutes prior, in today's time, everything is volatile. Like in World War One, World War Two, there were Axis power were there, Allied powers were there. So countries were grouped together. Now you can't say China is grouped with US, China is grouped with Russia, they are grouped with North Korea, we are aligned to Russia or we are aligned to US. No one is aligned to no one. However, there are some countries like this ideology, Dusman ka Dusman dost. These are the things
yes,
which are being followed these days. So
yes, sir.
basically, only solution which India has, or for that matter, any other country has, is be self-reliant. Depend on no one. Trust no one. Have the capability to defend our borders, our population, and our motherland by ourselves. That can only be done by this technological advancement and future-ready force.
Thank you, sir, for the answer to the query, sir. The next question is asked by Suvendu Panda. He's asking that, as you mentioned during our interaction about the 2.5 war, so his question is that how we as Indian citizens are going to face the point 0.5 war, and how we are going to face the enemy inside our nation, within us.
Okay, now when we say we are Indians or we are Bharatiyas, whatever it is, we say since we have a common identity, our complete government, our civil infrastructure, our academia, universities, IITs, DRDOs, our armed forces, we all are working towards achieving a common goal. That is to
Yes,
have the values of life for our own citizens, to have Viksit Bharat or Atmanirbhar Bharat. Now, within our country, you will see there are peoples like infiltrators from outside. They are funded from the countries. I won't take the name of the countries. They are being funded from outsiders. They are being funded from insiders. Everyone knows the example of Manipur. This could not have been done within the state itself. There are communities which are fighting each other. So, as long as we have the common identity as a state, we would be facing this point 0.5 front within our population, because there will be people who will be against the nation state. There will be people who will be having the love laws for other countries, because when there are 1.4 billion people who are trying to unite a country, there will be a portion of the population who will try and divide this country. So this point 0.5 front I am talking about.
so I think the person who had asked would have got the answer. So the next question is being asked by our own secretary of Kaziranga, sir, Chetan Singh. He's asking a very small question that as he heard you mentioning artillery as god of war, but at the same time we have been hearing that in the era of precision and guided missiles and loitering munitions, POV drones, the artillery will become irrelevant or can become irrelevant in the future years. So it is quite of a conflicting statement. If you can give your opinion regarding on this.
Now when we say artillery, it is not just the dumb bombs which is being fired, just the dumb cells. In artillery itself, we are moving towards precision. Like for example, now we have Excalibur ammunition, we have precision guided kit which is being made in conjunction with, and one of the project, it is being taken by IIT Madras itself. In
So
MOU with Indian Army, we are moving towards a kind of ramjet cell which will be powered by a liquid fuel. So this kind of cell, the range will be enhanced, and the precision will be, these cells will be GPS guided. Like earlier, as part of Bofors, we had some kind of ammunition, we used to call it Krasnopol ammunition. Similarly, now the future ammunition, it will be precision guided, like all kinds of rocket system, pinaka rocket systems, missile, every ammunition will be precision guided. As he has very correctly brought out very valid point, now gone are the days of the like 100 gun concept which was being used by Russia, like you bomb the complete stretch. Now gone are those days. The recent operation Sindoor, what we have demonstrated, it is the perfect example of the precision strikes. You could see those hole in these buildings. That was the point where we were planning to target, and we did it. So that's where Indian artillery is moving.
Thank you for your response, sir. It was a very factful information which we have got from your side. The next question is from Adarsh Mishra. He's asking your thoughts about Iran, sir. Is it military friendly, or does Iran and Pakistan work on some common defense projects?
Okay. Now, one thing I want to highlight in this question is audience might have some kind of exposure in this. The person who had asked the question 2 years before, when in army, chief of their army staff, General Asim Munir took over, there were missiles were launched from Pakistan to Iran and Iran to Pakistan. So basically, they are not friends, because Pakistan is being dominated by Sunni Muslims and Iran is a Shia Muslim country. They have never been friends. However, on the name of their Muslim brotherhood, they might be, doing some kind of narrative warfare. We are countries. However, Iran has always been a good friend of India. When we go to the geopolitics on a greater picture, I don't think Iran is likely to be more tilted towards Pakistan than us.
It's a very rightful statement, and a very correct opinion brought to you by you, sir. Like Iran is a Shia major state, and Pakistan is a Sunni. And Shia and Sunni, to the audiences, they are very different in the traditions. Although they are the Muslim, come under the Muslim community, but they have their own different traditions. That's why they have different conflicts and different opinions. Sir, the next question is again from Dhananjay Gupta. Uh, He's asking, sir, India does not have a compulsory military service system like other countries do. In your experience, do you think a shorter mandatory military training program should be introduced here as well, so that every citizen can develop discipline, patriotism, and self-reliance?
Okay, if you ask my honest opinion, I think it should be, because you must be aware, I am aware, a basic military training will lay the foundation of discipline in the population. You see the countries like Japan, Israel, how Israel is so small country, and how they are so ahead in technology and this patriotism. They are fighting, 4, 5, 6, I don't know how many front war. How? Because the basic bearing of their population is basic military training. But as far as will it be incorporated, it's not my decision, it would be up to the government. But one thing I can make it clear is, like, about this Agniveer scheme,
Yes, sir.
they plan to train something in lakhs within next 10, 20 years. The NCC which we have right now, the scout
Yes.
and guides, by one way or the other, we are training our young population. This is, although
Yes.
it is not proper military training, but is a kind of discipline which is being incorporated. You must be knowing about the NCC training. NCC camps are there, and there are so many NCC cadets which are helping in nation building.
Yes, sir.
Sainik schools are there, military schools are there, RIMC is there, and now
Yes,
they
sir.
are for girls also. So these are the steps which are being taken by the government. As far as my knowledge is concerned, it should be there.
Thank you, sir, for your opinion. The next question is from Kuldeep Singh, sir. He's writing, Jain, sir, not an IITian though. I'm a forester and a field biologist working for Uttarakhand Forest Department. While working on human wildlife conflicts and many more projects, we face severe misconceptions from civilians regarding our work, and we do tackle it accordingly. May I know some misconceptions civilians have about the Indian Armed Forces and how the department deals with it? If possible, do share some of your own on ground conflict mitigations.
Okay, a very valid question asked by Kuldeep. Okay, Kuldeep, I want you to know, first thing is, like, once we are operating in Jammu and Kashmir, there is no army which is deployed in Madhya Pradesh. There is no army which is deployed in Uttar Pradesh. There is no army which is deployed in Uttarakhand, although it is there on the borders, but not in the hinterland within the country. So the atmosphere which is there in Jammu and Kashmir, it is different what is in Manipur. It is different what is in Mizoram. It is different what is there in Assam. Because the borders which we are sharing with Bangladesh, the borders which we are sharing with Kashmir with China and Pakistan. So this particular portion of the population which is there in Kashmir, which is there in Manipur, we call them as insurgents. because they might not trust in the form of government which we have, or they might be the oppressed population. So I can't say complete population of the country might be supporting artillery, but there are some projects which are being taken by the Indian army, like winning hearts and minds. Operation Sadbhavana is there, because army works with the hands of a goal, this iron velvet. When we are
Yes.
treating our own population, we are as soft as cream, but when we are dealing with the enemy, we are like a iron fist. We'll keep working towards the betterment of the population of our country. However, the mindset of the people, it is changing slowly, although it will take time.
Thank you, sir, for your answer, sir. Next question is again from Suvendu Panda, sir. He's asking, what are the challenges in front of us to become a self-reliant army, sir?
Now, this is very valid question, and when you say self-reliant, it can cover all aspects of the life. First thing is technology. There was a book I was reading on the semiconductor chip war. Complete world was dependent on US. Now India and China are the two countries who are challenging. We are trying to be self-dependent. These days, you take laptop, you take this technology by which we are communicating right now, sitting thousands of kilometers away. You take any kind of missile technology, you take any kind of fighter jet, or for that matter, any kind of military technology. So all these kinds of technology, till the time we are dependent on other countries, we can't be called as self-reliant, because we know right now in peace time they are not supporting us. How can they support during the war? Second thing is, in case of technology, like there are automobile companies which are there, other from other countries, we might call them okay, they are better, but we are also growing. We have other our own automobile companies which are there, we have our own mobile phone companies. Till the time our own population supports our own initiative, suppose for example tomorrow Sulaks, he starts a kind of setup which is making drones, we should be the first one for choosing you. Of course there will be some kind of drawbacks will be there, some kind of shortcomings will be there, but by by timely feedback, correct feedback, they would be covered, because every no one was a Newton at first, no
Yes,
one
sir.
was an
Absolutely.
Einstein. We make
Yes.
mistakes, we learn. So
Yes, sir.
as a educated population of the country, as a civilized population, we support whatever is Indian, be it automobile, be it military technology, be it info technology, be it kind of any kind of software, anything which is Indian, we should be supporting it.
Yes, sir. Heading to our next question. It's a bit of a personal question, not about you, sir. One is Pravata Reddy, Prabhu Reddy is asking, how do you convince your family if they are a bit scared about this job in serving in Indian Army? For example, he is suggesting that his mom was a bit scared when he mentioned about appearing for the ND exam. So he's asking about your opinions, like what can they do to uh, convince their parents and the family to join the Indian Army instead of taking the narrative that this job is a bit dangerous.
And who will be the perfect example, better example than you? Sir is serving, you went to join.
So,
When sir was serving, what would be the thought procedure of ma'am, and what would be the thought procedure when she is handing over her own son? And for
yes,
the knowledge of the audience, we are two brothers, both are in army, and my wife
yes,
itself, she is a serving army officer.
so my mother was also a serving officer. So she retired as a captain from Koro Signals. It is nice of you to mention me as an example for the query to the audience.
So when it comes to the mothers, like your
Yes,
own
sir.
mother, my own mother, all everyone is worried, like, but the person who is asking this question, my only question is, what if you don't join army? Will you survive till 3000 AD? Everyone has to die. But what
Yes.
will be the better way, to sacrifice yourself at the protecting your motherland?
That's again one more statement with grit. I would like more hearts and claps from the audiences. Uh, so next question is again from our secretary, Kaziranga secretary, Sir Chetan Singh. He's mentioning that as you have already mentioned about Indian Army having artillery that can shoot up to 50 kilometers. I assume you must be referring to the ATACs, but we have heard about the issue regarding the weight of the gun and the hesitance of the Indian Army in inducting it in the service. Justifiably so, but we have seen the armored moving from heavier T-90s and T-70s to lighter Zoravas. Why haven't we seen a similar shift in the artillery regiment?
Okay, now as far as valid question, as far as the deployment of artillery is concerned, since I'm an instructor in gunnery, so everyone would like to have a light gun system, which would have greater mobility, which could fire and shoot and scoot. Because if you are firing from a location, it is expected within next 1 or 2 minutes, and we will be carrying out counter bombardment. So we would like to have some kind of mounted gun system. Although we are in the pipeline, mounted gun system are being developed, but this particular gun system ATACs, one of the basic characteristic of any kind of gun system is the stability. Before ATACs, we had a gun system, we call it like Soltum. It was the most accurate gun till date. So this ATAC gun system, it has a range of 50 kilometers. Since the system is heavy, so it could fire more accurately. But again, the point of having a mounted gun system which will carry out the shoot and scoot cannot be ruled out. Of course, we should go for it, and we are going for it. But
Yes,
as
sir.
of now, Indian Army has already placed an order of 307 this ATACs Howitsers with
Sir,
Kalyani,
sir.
and this you must be aware.
Absolutely rightly said, sir. There's one more. I think I missed some of the part of the question, sir. Uh, Chetan sir also mentioned about the lighter M777 howitzers to self-propelled artillery like the Vajras and the even indigenously made the MRs and the mounted gun systems Garudas 105s, which are more suitable for high altitude. What are your opinions on that?
Again, this Garuda gun system, it is under the pipeline. Some trials are going on in the high altitude. I should not be mentioning this. And next thing is regarding the M777. Everyone knows we purchased it from US. So this M777 ultralight howitzer, we already have some numbers. We already have, and sufficient to be employed wherever it is to be employed. But we are not looking for higher numbers, because we are looking for some kind of gun system which will have enhanced mobility, better than M777, better range, and better accuracy. So we will be going this kind of mounted gun system and ATACS gun system. Since the infrastructure along the border, along line of control, line of actual control is improving, at unimaginable pace. So we are looking forward to have the kind of infrastructure, the road network on which these kind of gun system can be towed, and accurate engagement of the enemy targets can be done.
Thank you, sir, for very insightful and a very factful information about the guns and the howitzers. Sir. Now, I would ask Shreya, do you can you please share the screen and the presentation, which basically we will. Yes, sir. Please, Chetan, sir. Chetan, sir has
Sorry
raised.
to interrupt, Sulaksh. I actually couldn't resist asking this
Sir,
question.
sir, sir,
So
please, sir, please.
I know sir is getting late and we have to wrap up the session. But um, during the Operation Sindoor, sir, we had started a very informal initiative of covering the small details of the operation, and we were trying to help out students who are living in the border areas by informing, um, although keeping the sensitive details confidential. We were trying to inform them about the development so that they could stay safe, and we were also trying to help out students get in touch with hospitals where help was needed. So during that time, we were observing the developments very closely. Me, my friends, some of the friends that I have in the OSINT community, and we were working on some psyops and similar operations online. And during that, we were getting regular updates on from the other side of the boundary as well. And one curious thing that we noticed was that the artillery on the other side was deployed in the civilian heavy areas. So where the population was based, the artillery was based there. We could see the artillery being placed in the middle of the buildings, and we did not see a similar tactic being used by our side. And as we know that when artillery is being fired and when the reply is going to come, and it will hit the exact same point where the shell was fired from. And due to which the other side had quite a lot of civilian losses as well, which were later highlighted by them in the news, and which were later used as psyops against our country. what is the difference between the mindset of the Indian army and the mindset of the uh, Pakistani army? Though both of them um, came from the same parent organization, what changed over the years that it led to this drastic shift that there was complete disregard of the population, the civilian life on the other side?
Okay, very valid question asked. So first thing is, let us take an example. Suppose my unit is deployed and enemy has fired some rounds on our location, and we are not in the civil population, and enemy guns are deployed in the civilian areas. So once they are firing on us and we are returning the fire on the same gun area of the enemy, we call it counter bombardment. So since they are firing on us, it is 110% sure we will retaliate. So now these rounds which we will fire, they will be landing into the civilian areas of the enemy. So the basic difference between the mentality of the enemy and us is they keep civilians as the shield. They want to show to the world, okay, Indian army is killing the civilians. That's why they are keeping them in front. However, for us, we are protecting our civilians. That's why we deploy our gun areas away from the civilians, because even if they fire at us, there is no civilian casualty. Because first and foremost thing for us is to protect our own population and then destroy the enemy. In case for while destroying the enemy, some kind of civilian casualties are being done towards our own side, so that lies on to us. However, the enemy, they don't hesitate to kill. You might be aware about the civilian casualties which we had in Punch. They were firing at our civilian locations, although there was no military installation there, just to have this fear in the mind of the people who are in the border areas, just have a kind of threat. Even their own population which is there in their hinterland, in their cities, how do they operate? They have a kind of fear psychosis in the minds of people. In case they don't support them, they will be rogered.
Absolutely, sir. Any other further questions, sir? Chetan, sir?
Thank you so much, sir, for answering that. And a follow-up question. Actually, this is a very, I would say, a dubious statement and a comment that we've heard quite often from the Pakistani side as part of PSYOPs. Uh, that there is almost 8 lakh of the Indian army deployed in the small area of Kashmir. So, as I think I forgot to mention that my father was also part of the Indian army, and we have been there in Rajouri and other areas. So, we have seen how small the valley actually is. It is not a place where you can actually deploy 8 lakh troops. It is just an illogical statement. What are your opinions since you are currently serving? You have served there, and there are a lot of students here who would like to listen about this. What are your opinions?
Firstly, I won't share the exact figures how they are deployed and where they are deployed. Was only thing the statement which the enemy is giving, like 8 lakh people are deployed, 8 lakh army is deployed. It is not to us. We already know where we are deployed. It is to the international organizations, international media, and their international friends, just to highlight this issue that people in Kashmir are being oppressed by India. That is their narrative. But we know where are we deployed, what we are doing there, what we are doing in hinterland, what we are doing to counter China, what we are doing to counter Pakistan. This everyone is aware. So when we say some amount of force is deployed somewhere, it is just to counter some kind of threat. For example, right now, take example of Pahalgam. Some kind of incident happened. Of course, the security will be tightened. Who will be there? Of course, forces will be there. How much forces will be there, that will be dictated as per the requirement. But since all these two fronts, they have been active in last 4 to 5 years. So the presence of force to guard every inch of land cannot be negated. It has to be there. How much force will be there? It again depends from time to time, availability of the force and the shift in the geopolitical situation.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for answering that. And since you've mentioned Pahalgam, I just couldn't resist myself from talking about that incident. It was such a tragic incident that our civilian lives were targeted, um, brutally shot point blank, the nature of which was quite unknown to each one of us present here in the meet. And it was a tragic moment for our country where we saw widows crying. Um, So glad that you highlighted that part. Additionally, sir, there was since we were following that incident, and you are currently serving as part of the Indian Army. There were few questions being raised, although um, we from our side tried to answer all of those questions. Since you are serving, I uh, I think you're the apt person to answer this. There were a lot of questions being asked about the lapse in security um, during the Pahalgam incident. That there was lack of that there was um, delayed response from the security forces deployed there, about 1 and 1.5 hours. Also, at the same time, I would like your comments on the nature of the operation that was executed, because from my understanding, I have been following the nature of the operations in the valley and the northeast very closely since for almost a decade now. Um, the operation style that was conducted was very military style operation. It was they came in, they executed the operation. They knew well in advance that the security deployment is low there. They took their sweet time to ask questions. They made a political statement there, which is unheard of. Usually, terrorists, militants in Kashmir do not make such political statements, but they made sure that they recorded that they made a political statement, and then they just moved out of that place. It was in and out operation, a very military style, very different from what we have seen previously. And this style of operation is something that we have been closely seeing after that April 2024 incident in Rajouri. So I would like to uh, request your views on this, please.
Now, very valid questions, and although it covered everything, now I would like to answer this in four parts. First thing is what they did. Second thing is why they did. Third one is what did they anticipate that we will be acting in this particular manner. As we all know, the modus operandi of Pakistani army. Their only aim is to have the focus of their population towards India. Okay, we are threatened from India. India might occupy us. India might occupy this what they call at Azad Kashmir or Pak occupied Kashmir. So their only aim is to have this general population, the mind frame of the population to be anti-India, so that they can execute their own agenda. I'm talking about Pakistan Army. So this particular operations which they carried out, it is very valid, very rightly brought out. It was a kind of military operation, and if you would have followed, open source news channels. So 2 months prior to this, there was one private US agency from where these satellite images of this particular area was collected, demanded, and studied in detail. And almost everyone is aware, you must also be aware, this particular operation was very well supported from the army. The terrorists which were there, they were trained there, and the locations where these terrorists were trained were also destroyed. We are all aware. Next thing is, did they anticipate that we will be reacting in this manner? No. They were anticipating like some kind of normal incident is there, and just to divert the attention of their local population from their economic instability, political instability, we will carry out some kind of action so that the attention of our local population is shifted again towards Kashmir, and the international attention, it is shifted towards Kashmir. And I want to highlight here, just after this operation, once we carried out this operation, some kind of loan was released to Pakistan by this this bank, what
IMF,
they call it,
IMF loan was
IMF loan, this
IMF,
World
sir.
Bank.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So one aim is they wanted money from outside. As we all know, there is economic stability. Second thing is focus of their own population. Third thing is to highlight the failures of their own army. They keep doing such kind of things so that the main focus of their population or army is towards Kashmir and anti-India. But this time they thought, okay, some kind of operation will be there, some terrorist, in case they are found, they will be killed. But they did not anticipate that we would be carrying out some kind of operation. Again, if it comes again in future, we can't say it is a part of lapse on security forces or some kind of security leak, because once you operate in that particular area, you have already been there. You don't know a civilian. By looking at me, you can't tell whether Anuj is a civilian or he's a terrorist. In case you see AK-47 in my hands, then only I can be labeled as terrorist. So these are the challenges which we face there. So basically, anyone can do anything. Only the tight security which we have been following. But since you have to fight this on 2.5 front war, of course, any kind of force which is human intensive, these kinds of things, it can happen. It can happen anywhere. Even you see in US, China, Russia, everywhere it can happen. But the kind of response which we have given right now, I hope enemy will remember it for long. In case they try to mess it again, it's gonna multiply.
Thank you so much, sir. Sulaksh, it was lovely interacting with sir, and you can take over now.
Yes, sir.
Sir would love to interact with you after the session, if the time permits you. So please take over, Sulaksh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So there's one last question, if you don't mind, sir, to answer. The Adarsh Mishra was asking, when Chetan sir mentioned about the civilian, the deployment of the guns in the civilian areas. He is mentioning that also, did they allow the civilian planes to fly in no-fly zone declared by India? Just imagine if our anti-aircraft system has shot it. Cheap action by Pakistan. What are your views on this?
Again, same thing. In case a civilian aircraft is flying close to border, and we fired a some kind, because of course this civilian aircraft is flying, of course some kind of military aircraft will be there. In case we fire some kind of anti-aircraft weapon, of course the weapon, this particular weapon will not differentiate between which one is civilian, which one is military aircraft. Anything which is hostile or which is not friendly, it will be directly targeting it. In case by mistake we target these particular civilian aircraft, again same thing, India is attacking the civilian population. That international media attention, international organizations attention, all these things are focused towards that side, because it doesn't matter to them how much of their people die. They are dying because of hunger, they are dying because of poverty, they don't care. Only thing they want to highlight, okay, these many 60 people were there in this flight and India killed 60 innocent civilians. That's how they do this. This IW warfare, this psychological warfare, they work in all these domains. They fight in the minds of the people.
Yes, absolutely said, sir. Rightly said, sir. Since we'll be wrapping up the session soon, sir, I would request Shreya to please present the memorable photos and the experience the sir has shared with us. Please share.
These are the some of the pictures where I was deployed during my earlier days. You can see my friends.
Yes, sir.
And on to the leftmost screen, these are the normal temperatures which are there, and it could go in minus, minimum I have seen is minus 46 degree. And this gentleman who is there in the center, who is walking into the snow, he is, young Lieutenant Anuj. In the first left screen, you can see me gazing at the enemy, eyeball to eyeball. In center one is when I got promoted from lieutenant to captain. It was at the height of 17,000 feet. And on to the right side, you see there is snow, but still you are duty bound.
Yes, sir. And at last, this is the most cutest picture.
Yes, I should assure the audience, you need not to worry about anything. The future of the nation, it is in secure hands. Generation after generations, our forefathers have done this, and the next generation is ready.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. You have given us a profound and a moving session. You have not just shared your stories, your experiences, your training, memorable experiences, but also you have sound knowledge and a deep, factful knowledge on the technical aspect of the Indian Army. Your insights on the Army's dedication, the importance of civic duty, and your personal reflections are a true gift to all the audiences present here. And we are also very thankful to you, sir, for answering all our queries. In fact, each one of our queries properly with all factful informations. Thank you once again for your service to the nation, and gracing your presence. To everyone in the audience, thank you for joining us on this auspicious day. And I think this day would be memorable for both our guest, Major Anuj Kumar Prajapati, and the audiences as well. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind, sir.
Jai Hind, sir. Jai Hind.
I'll just stop the recording now.